What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? I would like to welcome you all to another edition of Wayne's Perspective, where we operate in discipline, decency, integrity, and respect. And I'm coming through with another video just for you. All right, y'all. So today it is June 27th, 2024, 6:54 p.m. in the Richmond, Virginia area. Hashtag A04. Um, I hope everyone is doing okay as we prepare to close June 2024 and head right into July 2024. Of course, the time is moving by fast. You know, my birthday on the 25th came and went, even though I enjoyed everything. But other than that, like myself, I hope you all are doing okay and taking every day one day at a time and living life the best way you know how. So, with all that being said, we're going to go right into this video, which is going to be part three regarding Miss Judge Christina Peterson. There has been an update regarding the Georgia Supreme Court. They have made a decision. And before we get to the article here, I just want to say if you haven't checked out parts 1 and 2, which were reaction videos, along with Nate the Lawyer and Pink Book Lessons, respectively, shout out to them. Be sure to go ahead and check those out. Part 1 pretty much touched on everything that led up to the position that Miss Peterson is in now. And then part 2 pretty much touched on everything that took place in that nightclub, which led to her arrest and which led to the article that I'm going to get to today. So again, shout out to Nate the Lawyer and shout out to Pink Book Lessons. And speaking of late, excuse me, speaking of Nate the Lawyer, I checked out one video that he did, which he pretty much had the actual footage of the body cam from that nightclub, pretty much from the nightclub all the way up into the jail. I watched that entire thing, and he really didn't have to do much talking because the video spoke for itself. And needless to say, it was a hot mess. And her conduct overall, and this is the judge I'm talking about, she did herself no favors at all. So, you know, it's a mess. But if you get a moment, be sure to go to Nate the Lawyer's channel and check out that body cam footage. It is something else, y'all. So, with all that being said, we're going to go right into this article. I'm going to get my screen shared. This is courtesy of the Atlanta Journal Constitution. Credit to Kate Brumback at the Associated Press. It says Georgia Supreme Court removes county probate judge over ethics charges. Georgia's highest court has ordered the removal of an embattled county probate judge over ethics charges brought by the state's judicial watchdog agency. Georgia's highest court on Tuesday ordered the removal of an embattled county probate judge over ethics charges brought by the state's judicial watchdog agency. The Georgia Supreme Court issued an opinion removing Douglas County probate judge Christina Peterson from office, effective immediately, and prohibiting her from holding any judicial office in the state for 7 years. The High Court noted that the Judicial Qualifications Commission, or JQC from now on, found that Peterson, quote unquote, exhibited a pattern of judicial misconduct while in office. Peterson, 38, was sworn in as probate judge in December 2020 after winning a contested Democratic primary that year and running unopposed in the November general election. She lost the Democratic primary last month in her bid for re-election. Peterson has been plagued by ethics charges for much of her tenure, and last week was arrested after she was accused of pushing a police officer during an early morning scuffle at an Atlanta nightclub. Less than a year into her 4-year term in September 2021, the JQC filed formal charges against her, alleging violations of the Code of Judicial Conduct. The agency amended the charges in February 2022 and again in July 2022, bringing the total to 50 counts of alleged misconduct. 20 counts were dismissed before and during the final hearing, leaving an agency panel to address 30 counts. The hearing panel issued a report in March, finding clear and convincing evidence to support 28 other counts and that discipline was authorized for 20. It concluded that Peterson should be removed from office. A phone number for Peterson could not immediately be found, and no contact information was listed for her in the online directory of the State Bar Association. That's real interesting, y'all. Procedurally, I'm pleased that we were able to provide her with a vigorous defense in court, get numerous counts dismissed, and fighting off 2 motions for interim suspension, even though today we lost the ultimate battle, said Lester Tate, a lawyer for Peterson in the ethics matter. The Supreme Court said the most troubling allegation against Peterson had to do with her treatment of a woman who appeared before her while trying to correct an error on her marriage certificate. Peterson held the woman in criminal contempt and imposed the maximum jail term of 20 days and a fine without explanation or justification. The panel found. Now, that was crazy. And I talked about that in my part one video. And overall, it was just an abuse of power and it was totally unnecessary. And she had to have known that that was going to come back against her. I mean, you just can't do that in your position, simply put. Peterson is also alleged to have allowed people to enter the county courthouse after hours without ensuring proper security screening and then made unjustified requests for deputies to work overtime at taxpayer expense when her after hours access was limited as a result, the high court opinion says. She also pressed a panic button in her chambers when the deputy assigned to escort her to court did not arrive on time. Those actions did not demonstrate the decorum and temperament required of a judge, the opinion says. The opinion says the hearing panel also found that Peterson engaged in hostile exchanges with people at a meeting of her homeowners association while she had an active lawsuit pending against the association. Peterson also gave false testimony before the hearing panel, the opinion says. And yet all this stuff is documented. It's documented and it's on video specifically regarding the exchanges with the homeowners association. I talked about that in part one. And in part one, I also talked about allowing people to enter the county courthouse after hours. Yeah, all that stuff was on video, y'all. So you can't say it was made up or that she didn't do it. It's right there in plain sight. Or should I say in plain view. Continuing on, the High Court concluded that her multiple violations of judicial rules, some of which reflected a flagrant disregard for the law, court rules, and judicial conduct rules, as well as a pattern of violations, some of them extremely concerning, made removal from the bench appropriate. Separately, Peterson was arrested Thursday outside the Red Martini Restaurant and Lounge in Atlanta's upscale Buckhead neighborhood. An off-duty officer working security went to investigate after hearing a commotion and saw security escorting the woman out of the club, police said in a statement. And we got to get more about that story, y'all. As the officer tried to help de-escalate the situation, Peterson came over and immediately began screaming at a security guard and the officer, police said. She repeatedly swiped the officer's hands away as he tried to assist the woman being escorted out and pushed the officer in the chest twice, police said. She was arrested on charges of simple battery against a police officer and obstruction of a law enforcement officer. At a news conference Friday, two women who said they were there told reporters Peterson was the only one trying to help one of the women as she was being attacked by a man outside the club and that Peterson didn't mean to hit an officer. Peterson's attorney, Marvin Arrington Jr., said police officers may have been confused in the heat of the moment. I don't think so. As the investigation continues to unfold and more facts come to light, we believe that Judge Christina Peterson will be completely exonerated of these charges, Arrington said at the news conference. In excerpts of body cam video released by police, Peterson can be heard yelling obscenities as she tells someone to let a woman go before quickly being handcuffed. Video then shows her in the back of a police car continuing to shout obscenities and refusing to give her name. Yeah, that's all on camera, y'all. I mean, not a good look. All right, and I think that's pretty much it for the article. So again, credit to the Atlanta Journal-Constitution and Kate Brum back at the Associated Press. So yeah, that's the update. The Georgia Supreme Court came in and made that decision, and I think it's a good decision. She should not be in a position like that, and her behavior confirms that. So I'll end my video by pretty much saying this. Overall, is this her karma? Maybe. You can't act like that in the position that you're in and expect to still be able to conduct your job, or should I say do your job. You just can't do that, So my overall thoughts here, I don't feel sorry for her. I mean, the way that she behaved in the months leading up to this was nothing to be proud of. And considering everything she had to lose, one would think she would move accordingly, keep a low profile, but you can't tell people nothing. You can be black, beautiful, educated, and the whole nine, but that doesn't mean that you're above the law and you're immune to criticism and being held accountable for your actions. You can't blame others for your behavior. You just can't. So from this point on, I feel some true self-reflection is in order. All she got to do is just step away, continue to keep a very, very low profile, and see what happens from there. Now, obviously, I'm not from Georgia, but I personally wouldn't like to see her in another significant position like this again. And everything that she did leading up to this, it justifies that. I wouldn't want to see her in no kind of role like this ever again. Will 7 years do her some good? We shall see. But as it stands right now, stay away from public office, Miss Peterson. All you had to do was do your job and act with discipline, integrity, decency, and respect, and you didn't do that. So, with all that being said, y'all, we've come to the end of part 3 of this video. Will that be a part 4? We shall see. If you like what you heard and you're ready to become part of Team Discipline, go ahead and hit that like button and drop some comments if you're feeling the content. And also, let me know your thoughts on this as well. Do you think she may have a future after 7 years? Do you think she may end up doing something else or what? Let me know what you think. And last but not least, hit that subscribe button along with the bell so you're notified when I drop new videos. And until next time, my people, take care of yourselves. And remember, not only is the power of the mind valuable, but just because you're Black, beautiful, educated, and the whole nine, that does not mean that you're above the law and you're immune to criticism and being held accountable for your actions. Until next time, y'all, take care.